Valentino, how are you, man?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great. I can't complain at all, man.
Nice.
When I first saw you, I thought you were a clothing designer. You
Yeah,
got the look and
or
you got the name.
is
Say
it
it
because
again.
of name or maybe
Both. You got you. I thought you were Spanish at first, but you definitely got the Italian look, but more of the all year round tan Italian look. But the
yeah.
name as well. I would put that name on a shirt if I was you.
Where are you located?
I'm in Philadelphia, PA.
Oh, Philadelphia. Okay.
So you're in Florida, right?
Miami. Yes.
Oh, you have to show off with the Miami part.
That's why I'm so tan.
There you go. So far we got Zach.
We got a good crew today.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let me see if somebody else joins. Uh, guys, if you want to turn your camera, it'd be great. So we don't talk to the two screens. We got
And
a
that's
special
what get you guys excited anyways.
we got a special guest today, Andres Rosario. He's a great growth mindset coach. Has been a coach for 25 years. Somebody else joining. He's helped over 100 people, overcoming depression and building a mindset. And yeah, I'll let you take it from here. Welcome here.
I appreciate that, man. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to see everybody. I seen a few of you are real talkative, so I've seen him before in interviews. Zach, you talk a lot, so that's a good thing. That's the first thing you want to have in order to have a growth mindset. You want to make sure you're out there always constantly pushing forward to be better and better. I've also seen B Fan and Garcia. I think I've seen them before in your previous videos. And the last one that I seen is Talia, but
Talia.
she's. I think the camera constantly turns on and off. I don't know if she be busy or not. So who knows? I'll ask questions either way as we go from here. But first things first, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
if you guys are asleep, I'm about to wake you guys up right now. So first things first, just to give you a little bit of background on myself. So I'm Puerto Rican and I was born on a small island. Technically, if I would have never came to the US, I would have been a farmer. So the reason I start off with that as a big thing is because I cannot tell you how much of a difference education and opening up your mindset works for you. The reason I say that is because I literally thought my whole life was going to be I just want to stay in this small town. I don't want to get further away. I love the animals. I love the fact that all my family's nearby. But every time I would look at the TV, I would always say, but I somehow wish I was there. I just don't think that's going to happen to my life. And I feel like that's what's pushed me a lot further back in the beginning of my life in the beginning, because I felt like wanting to know more was never going to be something that I actually truly appreciated. And when I tell you, when you come to this country, and I don't know if I could probably from some of your last names, but when I first came to this country, I did not know English at all. And when I tell you I was bullied, I don't know if any of y'all went through that. It was the worst. I hate being bullied. Anybody here was bullied, or was it just me? It was just me then, I'm assuming. Oh my goodness, all of you were popular. Well, I'm sorry, it was just me. I was getting bullied. That's what it was. So I was getting bullied because I didn't know English, and I didn't know that was going to be a bad thing here. When I came here, I thought everybody would have known Spanish, and nobody did. Everybody knew English. So I tried not to be so different, and I wanted to make sure I did everything possible to learn English as soon as possible, as quick as possible. And I was bullied up until 8th grade because I always had that fixed mindset where I told myself, I don't know English. Don't open your mouth. You have an accent. It's not going to come out right. But as soon as I went into high school, I started talking more and I started realizing, wow, I can talk really good. I almost don't even hear my accent. Not only that, I was funny and I got a growth spurt. I grew up to 6 feet. So life changed completely. And when I tell you that that was my first moment of realizing I need to do everything that I believe in to make it possible, that's when I started making so many changes in my life. From there, I went into boxing. So I know mostly everybody here is in soccer, I'm assuming, correct? Maybe, maybe not. I can't tell if I'm muted. I just want to make sure with you guys.
Yeah, everybody's.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So since everybody here is in soccer, I was in boxing, but I want to relay it back to why mindset is so important when it comes to no matter what sport you're in. Growing up, I sucked. I was so bad in basketball. I was so bad in basketball. People would always steal the ball from me. I couldn't dribble. I couldn't shoot. I was so bad at it. And when I went into boxing, I didn't realize how much of an athlete I truly was, because I always told myself, oh, I can't move that good. I can't do this. I can't do that. But when I started using my mind, because boxing is not a total physical sport, it's more of that sport where you have to think ahead. It's like a chess match. You have to think ahead to make sure somebody doesn't hit you, because every time somebody hits you, you lose stamina. And I know you guys know what it's like to constantly lose stamina in the field, be tired. You guys are constantly running back and forth. Once you get punched, that stamina goes down the drain quick. So once I got great at boxing and I retired, somebody asked me to play basketball, and I was like, I don't know if I'm that good in basketball, but I thought to myself, I'm an athlete. Why don't I just give it a chance? And when I tell you guys I was so good at it, I couldn't believe how good I was, which was one of my biggest reasons on why mindset became such a huge journey to go through for me, because it made me realize if I can think it here, I can always make it possible. And I'm not just telling you guys just because. Throughout this whole podcast, I'm gonna make sure I explain to you guys exactly how you can make these things possible, because anything you can think of, you can literally do. If you're looking to run at somebody and they're coming next to you and you know you want to move to the side or maybe fake it, it's 100% possible. All you have to do is just purely believe in yourself to make that happen, and it'll work 100%.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you think? I mean, you kind of went through a little bit of the growth mindset, but what is if like a definition for you of a growth mindset?
So we were all raised to believe something as we were growing up, and none of it is true. I think something I was called growing up was crazy. I was always called crazy because I always had big ideas and I always wanted to do so much. And I would always tell everyone it's possible. And I would always be labeled as crazy until I was right. My personal definition for a growth mindset is just constantly believing in yourself. Personally speaking, if you think you can do it, you can do it. If you believe you're a superhero, you guys are a superhero. Like literally, like even if you don't think, oh, I can't move mountains, I don't have powers from that, you probably have different powers. And I'm not just telling you this because you guys are younger. I mean this because this is how I've always believed in myself growing up, not to mention how I'm raising my kids myself. A growth mindset is when you're constantly expanding your mind past what you currently know. You know as much as you've been given. But as you guys continue developing and getting older, you'll start realizing, I never knew this was possible. I can do this. I never knew this was possible. I can do this. And then sometimes those two things come together and you expand and expand and expand, and you just keep getting better and better and better and better. To me, that's what a growth mindset is, constantly getting better and better and better.
Nice. Yeah, that's a perfect definition, like
Thank you.
learning from your mistakes and keep growing your knowledge, keep growing as a person. Yeah.
Yes.
And what is the best way to, in your opinion, to learn new things?
So the best way for me to learn new things, I know I'm sure a few of you don't like studying because you've already got to go to school, then you got to go practice. But if I could just let you guys know a single thing, anything that you do for even 20 hours longer than anybody else will make you 99% better in that category than 99% of people around the world. What I mean by that is, if you're constantly working on your running or your dodging or your back foot, the better you keep working at it, the better it'll get in general. The reason I know this is true is because people like Ronaldo, Messi, if you see videos of them when they were young, they believed in themselves that they were going to be better no matter what. And that's a true testament to show that the longer you do something, the better you truly become at it. It's like any skill in general. If you keep working out, you'll get big and strong. If you keep shooting a basketball like Michael Jordan, you'll get better and better at shooting a basketball. The thing that you do the most over and over again, you will develop to get better and better and better.
Nice. You guys have any question about this? We'll open up at the end, but do you have any question about this subject, like learning new things?
Well, maybe I could throw you guys something that'll make you want to ask a question. So you guys are constantly running and exercising in order for you to maintain your shape in soccer, right? One thing a lot of people don't realize is that your body isn't the only organism you have. You also have your mind. Your mind is one of the strongest and most powerful organisms in your whole body. We're constantly running and training, trying to be better, but your mind can work you overtime. If you exercise in your mind, or if you practice your moves in your mind, when you go to do it in person, you're going to get better and better, noticing, I never knew I could do that before. Has that happened to any one of you, that you thought you could do something in your head and then all of a sudden you did it in real life? You? Garcia?
Yeah, happens to me all the time when I try to learn new skills.
When was the last time and what did you do exactly?
I was trying to learn the hocus pocus. It's a Brazilian skill move.
Uh-huh.
And I kept on trying to find like steps and ways to do it. And then randomly, I just thought of it in my head, how like the way like you would move your leg. And then once I did it, it was like it became a lot easier.
Doesn't that just show you how powerful your mind is? That's literally what I meant when I said I didn't think I could play basketball until I realized I was already an athlete. You can do anything you want. You sometimes just don't know it's possible. Anybody else?
Zach,
I see you agree, Zach. You have something to say, buddy?
You just beat the record, right? The juggling record.
Yeah, I kept on trying and I didn't know if I could actually get past it, but then I thought of it and then I did it. Like I set a goal and then I passed it.
There you go. You know what you got to do next? Set an even bigger goal and pass that. That's the way you're going to get to your heroes. You literally have to keep setting yourself up with higher and higher and higher goals, because you're always going to pass them no matter what. If you believe you can do it, you're going to do it. The only thing that holds you back is literally your mindset at times.
Yeah, there was I believe it was Roger Bannister. I think he was the guy that beat the 4-minute mile. So nobody could beat the 4-minute mile until that guy beat it, and then all of a sudden 3-4 people weeks later beat the record, just because of your mind, like, no, this is not possible. But when you see somebody doing it, you see that it's possible, you're gonna get it done. So
yes, sir. Especially because so many people are paving your ways right now. Soccer or football is so popular right now. It's starting to be everywhere. It should start letting you know this is actually a really big possibility in me. Not only that, but to mention the fact that your parents care about you so much that they want you guys to get better in every possible way. They take you to practice. They let you meet Valentino in order to get stronger with mindset. This should let you know that they're the ones who truly believe in you, and you have to believe in yourself even more to make what they're making sure they want of you possible.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And what do you think about failure? Because a lot of kids, like when they make mistakes or when they lose games, they fail at something. They either give up or they kind of get down to themselves, and like they don't want to fail, or make any mistakes, so they shut down. What do you think about failure?
So that's a great question. And I believe in the last podcast with Thales, I believe it was Zach that had mentioned that sometimes you're afraid of getting screamed at by the coach for missing something. I don't know. I don't know how you see it. I know I always seen failure as, oh, I want to make sure I don't do this again. I want to make sure I don't do this again. I want to make sure I don't do this again. But failure is, and this is not going to be a popular opinion, failure is always going to be your best teacher. If I can give you an example, it'll make so much sense. This is an example I like to talk with my clients about. Have you ever did anything that you messed up so bad, your parents just screamed at you or a friend screamed at you, and as soon as you were about to do the same thing again, you instantly remembered, oh, I know I'm going to get screamed at if I do this, and you don't do it? Anybody at all? I seen a few agreements. So the reason that's such a big deal is because that's failure right there. When your failures are so big that it makes you remember not to do them again, that's when you truly get better at yourself. To me, failure and pain are the two biggest motivators and teachers you can have. Because when something is painful, it's your body telling you, I don't want to do that because the last time we did that, the situation was not favorable. I didn't like it. It didn't make me feel good. But when you push past that, because remember, you're not always working your mind out, you're working your body out. When you push past that and you work yourself into, I know I did this and I didn't do it right the last time, but I think I know the right way to do it. That's when you start learning and getting better and better at yourself because of those lessons that you learned through that. So personally speaking, for me, failure and pain are the best possible teachers.
Awesome. So Talia, you had a question?
I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
You still want to ask just in case we have a different feedback on it?
No thanks.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, cool. And yeah, so it's basically like failure, like when you it's like when you touch your stove and it's hot, right? You know that burns, so you don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you also got to look at it as a video game. In a video game, and I know this might not be the best example, but you might play a specific level and you might constantly fail at it. But you know the video game is so fun, you want to keep trying until you get past it either way. You're not just going to give up on that. But the reason you can't give up on the video game is because you know it's not real. If you treat your real life the same way you treat the video game, obviously real life is real, but if you treat it as to the fact that it's not real, I know I can do this, you'll make it possible in every possible way.
Yeah, if you're playing Super Mario, don't jump in the fire. Don't.
You'll definitely learn a few times making mistakes in order to know, okay, this is what I could do, this is what I can't do. And that's also how you find out new things you can do to make yourself better as you go on in the game.
Yeah.
You can't beat any game without failing. Nobody's ever beaten a game just straight through.
Maybe the first level, maybe.
Of course. You guys are athletes. You guys are already at like level 15, 20.
Yeah. Also, like one thing that I think it's really important, to build confidence and mindset,
Yes.
like having daily routines. So what
Yes.
are some of the daily routines that you have or that players should have, people should have?
So daily routines are extremely important because they're the first things you can do in order to help you start building confidence. If you feel you don't have confidence in yourself, it's because you probably let yourself down a few times, or maybe for the last few months. So, a way to explain that is if you tell yourself, I'm going to make this practice and I'm going to play good no matter what, but you go to the practice, and as soon as you make your first failure, you start saying, maybe I'll do it next time. Right there, you're breaking your word. And once you break your word, you start losing trust in yourself. Once you start losing trust, you break confidence. So the best way to get confidence is by being consistent. So consistency is the best way to get confident, and confident is the best way to get competent. So let me explain a good way on how that works. Every morning, I want to make sure I give myself 5 to 9 or 10 wins before I start my day. So first thing I do is I tell myself the night before what time I'm going to wake up, and I make sure I wake up at that exact time. And I'm always still going to be tired. But as soon as I wake up, I start telling myself, let me just go to the bathroom. Let me walk around. The tiredness might leave. And it 100% always does. As soon as you start moving, as soon as you start thinking. So that's one of the best ways to keep your word in the morning, doing something that you might not like. After I do that, one of the things that I hate doing, but I know I had to do, is I take a cold shower. When I take a cold shower, it wakes me up right away, fast. And I know this might not be what you guys want to do, but a cold shower has been shown to give you more energy because it gives you that surprise, that flinch, that spark, that, oh my goodness, I can't believe it happened. And you don't even have to take a full shower. It's just like the little dots hitting you, waking you up from there. After that, I make sure I drink 2 bottles of water and I do my bed. Now, a lot of people might think to themselves, doing my bed, why is that even important? So in the military, they make you do your bed every single morning and every time you use it, because it shows you that you're picking up a habit, that you're picking up something that you know you're going to be consistent at, that you know you're going to get a win from. And even though it's a small gesture, because you're just going to use your bed again, you want to always do your bed. So this way, every time you come to your room, this looks nice. This looks awesome. And I know some of you might not even want to clean your room, but doing your bed is so important because it's considered a win to yourself because you were able to do something small and you were able to make it happen. After that, me personally, I like to go outside and get some sun. You don't have to do that. It's personally up to you, but I like to meditate. Meditating is so important to me because before I work out my body, I want to make sure I'm working my mind. And the best way to work your mind is by having some time to yourself and meditating. And I don't know if you guys that's even a good question. Has anybody here ever meditated? Because it might sound good. It might sound boring. Okay, Garcia and Fan both meditated. Can I ask you both a question? What do you do when you meditate? Like, what do you think about, or what's constantly in your head once you're doing it?
I think about what I want to do in the day. Like, let's say on like the weekend on Saturday.
Okay.
I don't usually meditate because I don't really get time to, but I do like sometimes, not often. But when I do, I think about like what I probably do like around the day and like what I can probably fix like if I do it wrong. That like I do.
You do what?
Like brush my teeth, like or like me getting up. Like I don't like getting up, but like I once I wake up, like just get up and like try and do what you need to do.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you said you like to meditate thinking about what you're going to do on the weekend or brushing your teeth or anything like that. Do you actually get to do everything that you meditated on?
Sometimes, not every time, but sometimes.
Most times? You're actually doing what you set your goal to be. So if your goal was to, I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to try to have fun this weekend, I'm going to do this, you're actually achieving the goal you set for yourself, believe it or not. If you set even bigger goals, that gives you an even bigger reason to continue thinking about that until you achieve it.
Yeah, like sometimes before my practice, I'll just close my eyes and like think about what like I usually do in the practice.
That's more like visualization, right? You're visualizing yourself doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, meditation is just more like relaxing. You're either focusing on a mantra, or focusing on your breathing, or focusing on nothing basically.
Right. Personally, I like to use both together just because it makes me be more powerful in general, but 100% agree. I mean, obviously you're using your visualization in order to achieve the things you're setting goals to. Have you ever thought about doing it for something much bigger than just how your day is going to go, out of curiosity?
Not that often. No, I don't really do that. No, never tried
I don't
it.
want to be the one to give you homework, but I would start trying to do that if I was you. If there's something that you specifically want to get really good at, or maybe even take away Zach's record, constantly think about that until you make it happen. I know, Zach, give me a second. Constantly keep thinking about doing that until it happens. So then you can give Zach that friendly competition for him to say, now I got to beat it again. And this helps you both get better and better and better, even if you guys aren't in the same location.
Okay, I'll try to see. I'll try to see if I can meditate before my practice.
No, don't try to see, man. Make it possible. Even if you got to visualize it, make it possible that you're going to be the best.
Yeah, I actually meditate twice a day, because some people say, like, how do you have time to meditate twice a day? But actually, when you do it consistently, it gives you more time, because you're focused on the task that you're doing rather than focusing on too many things, and then you get less stuff done because you don't have time. But when you're focusing, focus, and with the meditation helps you focus, so you get more stuff done and you have more time back.
Exactly. What about you, Fan?
Yeah.
I meditate before my game to calm me down, because sometimes against like really hard teams, I get nervous. So I just meditate in the car.
Okay. That's a good way to look at it. Why do you get nervous?
Because like I don't know if we're gonna lose, or
What if you win?
I'm gonna be happy.
There you go. You see, you even got a smile out of that. If I was you, I'd constantly be thinking about, I'm going to win no matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you focus on, you want to focus on what you want to happen, not what you don't want to happen, right? If you're focusing on, I don't want to get hurt today, you're basically putting that attention towards that, and we're attracting that. So we want to focus on what's good gonna happen today. What's good gonna happen on the game? We're gonna win. Then if you lose, that's okay. You learn the lesson and just move on.
You learn from that failure. You get better from there.
Exactly. Awesome. Any questions, guys? We're gonna leave some room for questions.
Ask away. I couldn't tell if Fan said yes.
I just said thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for talking back to me. I see everybody the same, man. The same way I would talk to an adult is the same way I would talk to a young adult, because even though we have two different ways to learn, we both have the same learning curve, where you can learn something an adult just learned at 40, at 13 or 15, and still take it the same way. Now, the adult might see it as, okay, I've experienced something like this, so I know a way to either make changes on it or make it better or avoid it. But for you, it's just a new world opening up.
Yeah. It's called neuroplasticity, right? Or ability,
Sure.
the ability of the brain to change and learn new things, and through experiences or informations that you guys learn. No one has a question?
100%. Why you guys don't have any questions? What's going on? You guys are already the best at your sport? I seen Garcia already agreed with it. Is there anything you feel you're lacking right now that you want to get better at? Because the reason a lot of people don't ask questions is because they either don't want to seem wrong or they've asked it before. But you should always be open to new experiences because you never know if you're actually going to learn something new that might actually be able to help you get further ahead. To me personally, I like talking to everybody because sometimes I can have a 2-hour conversation with somebody and the conversation went nowhere. But maybe 2 minutes of what they said was able to help me influence myself to become better than I was before. Because I don't know if you guys agree with this or not, but you're not the same person that you were 30 seconds ago. Every time you learn something new, you're always a newer person and you always have a new belief system.
There you go.
Yes, Garcia.
Yeah, all of my coaches always told me that, like, you're always going to be 30 seconds smarter than 30 seconds ago because you're always learning something.
Exactly. It's the truth.
Anyone else?
100%. I'm curious because I always love trying to figure out names. Is that Giannuzzi? Am I saying that right? They don't have to come on camera. I'm just curious if I'm saying it right. Giannuzzi?
Januzzi.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so it almost sounds like there's a T in it. Giannuzzi?
It's actually an Italian name, last name.
Ah, okay. I was curious about it. I keep looking at the name and I'm like, how do you say that?
And
Great name.
my name is Jackson too.
Your name is also Jackson?
Yeah.
Who's fan? Is that like your last name or is that
Oh, that's my last name.
Ah, okay. Where are you from?
Irvine.
Nice. California is definitely very big when it comes to soccer, like very, very, very big. Have you ever, I'm just curious because I know it's nearby there because I went there one time to train. Have you ever had to run up like up a huge hill or a mountain yet in order to exercise?
Yeah. Peter Canyons Hill. We're gonna do it again tomorrow.
Are you excited for it?
Yeah.
Really? You like running?
Yeah.
Why do you like running?
Um, just to get my body moving.
Why do you want to get your body moving?
Uh, also to get fit, um, and get more endurance and
Do you feel endurance is important for what you're doing now? Do you feel like at times you might get too fatigued or tired in the field?
yeah.
How often does it happen?
Not that often, but like against like TFA and like hard teams.
Hard teams?
Yeah.
So the reason I asked was specifically to get there. Do you think the team is going to be hard before you play them or by what other people say?
Um, both kind of. Mostly, mostly by people telling me.
Mostly by people telling you? So I don't know if this is relevant or not, or if you get the point. An army loses when they lose 30% of their soldiers.
Mhm.
The reason that's important is because sometimes a lot of teams, and this happens in every sport, will do something spectacular to get their name across everyone, so everyone can have fear for them before they actually play them. Like, for example, Mike Tyson. Most people, I'm not sure if they were even hurt by him. They would go down easily from him because of the fear that they had before they actually fought him. The same thing goes for most teams. The reason most of the bigger sports teams always win is because they either did something incredible at the end or something incredible for a few games in order to influence everyone else. That's big when it comes to mindset, because technically they're enforcing their mindset on others to let them believe they're going to win automatically or they're going to be extremely hard. In most cases, they're just like you and everyone else. Of course, there might be some factors where they have a really good coach or they have a really good training regimen. But from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you do too. If you enjoy running up a hill, that means you at least have to be one of the top 3 best players in your team. And if you're not, you have to believe you are, because you're putting in the work to make that happen. Going back to all this, what I'm basically trying to say, everybody here knows who Michael Jordan is, right?
Yeah.
If we put everything together, good. If we put everything together based on the failure, based on the mindset and everything, Jordan took like over 700 game-winning shots. And he only made like, what was it, like 77? I don't remember the exact number. But that's I believe it's under 10%. So he's considered the best for under 10%. What you have to do is you have to think of yourself so big, because I'm one of the biggest persons that believe I can do anything. My mindset is unbreakable. I believe if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. Because as far as I'm reaching, even if I don't get there, even if I only get 10% of it, it's still going to be 99% better than everyone else. What did you say?
Oh no, I just had a cough.
Oh, that must have been a good cough then. It's one of those coughs where it just hits you and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson.
Anybody else? Talia, Zach? If
She
not,
wants to ask a question, but she's asking the adult or somebody who's in there, like, should I ask this? Don't be afraid to ask a question, because you'll get better every time you do something that's scary.
if
She's like,
not,
I don't want to ask.
if not, I can ask a question.
Ask away. Unless somebody else has. I'm more interested in you guys seeing where you guys are going, because you guys are going to be able to make anything possible. You're at an age right now where your mindset is open. So you can only do better and better from here. Garcia, what's your first name?
Ari. My first name's Ari. This is my
Ari?
last. Ari. A-R-I.
Hey, Ari. Nice to meet you, Ari.
Thank you. What do you think is the most important thing about mindset, in your opinion?
In my opinion, spoken like a true adult. He made sure he said, in your opinion, at the end. In my opinion, working it out. So as a boxer, actually, I'll give you a better example. You know who Abraham Lincoln is?
Yeah.
He was asked if he had 6 hours to chop down a tree, how would he do it? He said for 5 hours, he would sharpen his axe and then worry about knocking the tree down with the last hour. In my opinion, the same way you work out your body is the same way you need to work your mindset. The reason that's so important is because you're constantly exercising and working out. Do you actually want to work out? Be honest. Do you actually want to work out?
It depends on what I'm doing.
Okay. Now, when you have love for something that you're doing, it no longer becomes work, and it becomes something that you actually want to achieve and strive towards. So as you're working out your body constantly to get better in all the moves that you're constantly achieving every single day, remember what you said earlier in the conversation. You thought about something in your head and you were actually able to do it in real life. Now, what if you controlled your mindset to the point where you said to yourself, I'm never going to make this mistake again. I'm only going to do this from now on. If nobody's good at this, or if somebody's good at this, I'm going to be the best at this specific task. Believe in it and then try it. And even if you fail, you got smarter in knowing, okay, this is how I did it and this is how I failed. Now I'm going to do it this way. And even if you fail this way, I'm going to do it this way. No matter what, the more you think about it, the better you'll get at it, because you failed so many times. You're not going to fail anymore going forward, because now you know what to go through. Ask away. I know you.
So like you're trying to say is like finding, like trying a ton of like results and then finding the best one and then
That is
just
correct.
get the answer the easiest way.
That is
Right?
correct. Let me ask you a question. Let's say you had a test that only had 5 questions,
Okay.
and you can't fail it. They'll just let you know that you're wrong. If you give the first answer and you're wrong, but you're able to try again, and even if you get it right or wrong, you're not going to pick the same answer that was wrong the first time, right?
Like the exact answer, like word for word, or like the same like piece, but like you said it wrong.
No, like, I guess if I was to give you easier, more specific way, how do you make purple? Is it red or blue? Is it orange and black? Is it
And blue.
orange and orange? As soon as you make the first answer wrong, you won't go back to that, because you already know it's definitely not orange and orange.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like you remember what you did when you failed, so you only get better the next time going forward.
Yeah, like you're not gonna say the same thing. Unless like orange and orange. If you say blue and blue, it's not gonna be correct. But you know, but you're sure that blue is one of them, so you just need to change one of them, but you know that one's right.
And don't you see yourself doing that constantly as you're getting better in the sport that you're in?
Yeah.
Because you've done mistakes. And I'm assuming either, and I could be wrong, somebody's probably screamed at you. Somebody that you look up to all the time.
Yeah.
But you respect them.
Yeah. Now I don't get like this is a new team that I joined, and I got screamed at a bit because I was never as loud. Like I didn't talk as much. Like I wouldn't say, can I get the ball? Like I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say. And now on my team, I'm more vocal.
And as you're being more vocal now, you feel like you're getting the ball more?
Yeah.
Remember when
sometimes I don't even need to be as vocal. I just get the ball.
Because they see your skill. They would have never seen your skill if you never asked for it in the first place.
Yeah.
It's the same way earlier. You literally said, how do I put this in the best possible way? You wanted to do something. You imagined it. You did it. You made it possible. Now you're coming to the point where now you're being more vocal and you're talking more. And I could tell you've been trying your best to like ask questions and get to know better things. As you keep doing that, you're only advancing yourself, because I probably told you something that you already knew. You just wanted to hear somebody else's opinion to tell you, am I right?
You're right. Like the thing with Michael Jordan, I heard like another basketball player. He played for like 12 seasons, right? He won 9 rings. What were those other 3 seasons? A waste? No, you learned from them.
100%. Nothing's ever a failure. If you're, I mean, I don't want to go back to this exact explanation, but if you're playing a game, even if you keep, I don't know, playing or fighting or doing the same thing over and over again, you're sooner or later going to figure out, what if I try from this way? It might work better. And look at yourself. You're getting, not only are you getting better, you are in a brand new team, which in most cases is very scary because you probably don't know anybody there. But you are vocal enough to say something where nobody else would have ever noticed before. But now that you're saying something, they're saying, man, Ari got some skills. I should pass him the ball better, because it also shows trust in you. If you're trusting somebody to talk to them and you're trusting them to talk back to you, that forms a level, a bond that they understand. Okay, this is the person I want to pass to because we understand each other. And it's probably because they passed the ball to you maybe 3 or 4 times. You probably failed once. But another time you did something spectacular where everybody thinks to themselves, if I pass it to somebody, it's Ari.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Giannuzzi's on it. Giannuzzi is on it. He's on and off. You got any questions, buddy? He's like,
No, not really. Not really.
Okay. So I'll ask a question. If you go back to, 10 years old, 11 years old, what would you tell yourself?
Personally, for me, I would tell myself to do exactly what you're going to do, because this comes back to everything we just talked about. If I would have changed anything in my life to even make it easier, I would have never been the person that I am today, because I failed my whole life. My whole life, I was failing and failing and failing. I've lost so much money. I've lost so many relationships, friends. But it's helped me get to the person that I am today, because if all of it would have just came to me, I would have never wanted to achieve and look for more. Yes, Ari.
So you remember when you said that when you were younger, you weren't very good at basketball, and then you played boxing, and then one day somebody asked you want to play basketball, and then you got really good. Do
Yep.
you think that when you were younger, when you weren't good at basketball, and then you really knew that when you were older you would be better at basketball, do you think that you would have kept on playing basketball, or you think that you still would have done boxing?
No. So personally speaking, I still would have went towards boxing. I wasn't good at basketball when I was young because I didn't think I was good at basketball. I didn't think I was good at basketball because I didn't know English that good. So I was afraid to ask people questions or even get myself involved, because I was always afraid people would ask me questions and I would always answer with an accent.
So like me not wanting to ask for the ball, you didn't feel like asking for the ball because of your accent.
Correct. That kept me down for so long because I was always embarrassed. But as I started speaking better and I started realizing I can speak, it was just all in my head. It wasn't real. I could have been great at basketball. I just never tried because I let one thing, which is funny, my head, my mindset, I let that dictate to me that I couldn't do something. And going back into mindset, the reason I was better at basketball when I came back around is because I knew at that point I was already an athlete. And I said to myself, if I can do this, I should be able to do this. I have the stamina for it. I have the speed for it. I have the mindset for it. Let me just try it. And when I tell you, where did these skills come from? That's literally how I felt the whole game. Where did these skills come from? How was I this good? And it's because I wasn't physically playing. I was playing in my head. I just made it physically possible. So the way
One more question.
no, go ahead. Ask.
When you said, "Oh, I'm an athlete because I play boxing," do you think that helped you half the way of getting better at basketball? Well, that like you played.
Of course, because for one, I was pudgier when I was younger, so that means I was much bigger. And that alone told me, okay, if I run for a little bit, I'm gonna run out of breath right away. The fact that I was getting great at boxing told me, okay, I have stamina, which should be the main basketball that'll tell me that even if I play for it, even if I'm not good, I'm at least gonna be able to fill in a seat. But instead, I was able to do better because one, my body was already refined to be able to play basketball at a high level. But two, because I was boxing for so long, every fight I had in my head. So as soon as I would fight, I would always think 2 or 3 steps ahead. How can I avoid getting hit? What can I do to move away? What can I do to keep him away from me and trick him into making sure that I could attack without getting attacked back? Putting that with basketball made me realize I was fighting in my head. Let me play in my head. As soon as I grab the ball, I'm going to fake this guy, turn around and pass it to somebody else, and they might not see it coming. And it always worked because I was playing in my head. Literally, I don't know how I was doing it. I just believed in myself so much that I said, I know I'm going to be able to do it. And it just happened. Like, I couldn't believe it was actually happening, but it was actually happening. But yeah, being an athlete helped.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. Awesome. All right, we'll wrap it up. And if they want to find you, follow you, like share your information for them. So if they want to, yeah.
So if you want to find me, my Instagram is at Marketing Coach Andre. Simple as that. If you ever got any questions, I mean, obviously I would always expect you to go to Valentino first, but if you ever have any mindset issues or anything that you want to get past through, I'm a big talker. I talk to everyone. I make sure I tell everybody what they want to know.
What was it? What was your
Marketing
information?
coach, marketing coach Andre. So it's MARKETING.
I just posted it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
thank you. But I would always say, you guys already have somebody incredible with you. Just like Ari said earlier, it's good to get different opinions and seeing how other people think. But the best person to get the most opinions from, Valentino. Because he's investing in this 100% for you guys. And I mean, this is amazing what he's doing personally, because a lot of people don't realize how important it is to have your kids believe at such a young age so they can truly perform as they get older. Because whatever you're believing in now and you make it possible, you guys are just going to be able to do anything you want as you get bigger.
Yeah. I just want tickets when you guys become professionals. I just want tickets to come see you. So
that's it. No,
right.
but it's also good to see what your creation has done. It makes you so proud.
Yeah, change the world possibly. Awesome. Thank you so much, Andre. And it was a pleasure. Lots of valuable informations, and hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next week.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And it was a pleasure meeting all of you. By the way, sorry that I was sweating so much. I didn't have my lighting system with me, and my dad gave me a lighting system because I'm in his house, and it's in my face, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like killing me. I'll see you guys. Best of luck with everybody. Smash all your records. Just keep getting better and better and better. I can't wait to see you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank all of you.
Bye.
Bye.